We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
We can't tell our people they can vote yes on abolishing slavery unless at the same time we can tell them that you're seeking a negotiated peace.
It's either the amendment or this Confederate peace. You cannot have both.
How many hundreds of thousands have died during your administration?
Congress must never declare equal those whom God created unequal.
Leave the Constitution alone.
We're stepped out upon the world stage now, with the fate of human dignity in our hands. Blood's been spilled to afford us this moment. Now!
Abraham Lincoln has asked us to work with him to accomplish the death of slavery.
No one's ever been loved so much by the people. Don't waste that power.
This fight is for the United States of America.
Didn't we choose to be born, or are we fitted to the times we're born into?
Well, I don't know about myself. You may be.
This settles the fate for all coming time. Not only of the millions now in bondage, but of unborn millions to come. Shall we stop this bleeding?
Okay, so the hotly anticipated Abraham Lincoln trailer from Steven Spielberg. Everybody has seen the photo of Daniel Day-Lewis as Abraham Lincoln, and of course we all went crazy over it because he looks like he leapt off the penny. But I have to say that, in motion, it just looked, to me, as soon as he moves in the trailer, he looks like Daniel Day-Lewis dressed up as Abraham Lincoln. He's not disappearing into the character for me. So I think that the problem here is that this movie, and I was worried about it being able to overcome the most obvious obstacle, and that's the fact that nobody knows what Abraham Lincoln sounded like, and nobody knows what he moved like, or what his demeanor was. We've only seen photos and drawings. So to depict something like that from scratch is a huge obstacle, and I'm not convinced yet that Steven Spielberg and Daniel Day-Lewis have been able to overcome it. But I think in comparison, if you take a similar type figure, Jesus Christ, not to compare the two like that, but you know what I'm saying, nobody knows what Jesus sounded like or moved like or talked like. But when I saw Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ with Jim Caviezel, the makeup work they did there, and Caviezel's performance, I immediately was like, that's Jesus. They sold me on it, and it really worked well. And I'm not sold here yet. And I think that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, I don't like the voice work that's been done here. I don't like the voice he's chosen. Obviously, I can't refute it. But it seems like a passive, not a commanding presence that they've created. And I think that doesn't seem like Lincoln to me. It doesn't seem like a leader and someone who's able to accomplish the things that Lincoln did. Lincoln had to be very aggressive to, stand up to half of his country and make some bold moves to win the Civil War and end slavery. But I think that this doesn't seem like that kind of man. Again, it's just the trailer. I could be surprised, but not the voice. The voice I would have thought when I thought Lincoln. And I think that part of that was, like, for instance, in the trailer, there's voiceovers. And at the beginning, everybody but Lincoln is talking, and you hear the voice before you see who it is. So I kept being like, is that Lincoln? Is that Lincoln? And then they'd show who it really was. And one moment I got snapped out of the trailer was Tommy Lee Jones and that crazy wig they've put on him. But back to talking about the trailer. And then at the end, when it is Lincoln talking, I couldn't tell it was Lincoln. It was very distracting because it wasn't what I thought he would sound like. So I just had no idea what was being said, and it was disconcerting. The second thing is that the whole time Lincoln's ever been portrayed, it's always with a lot of reverence, and I can understand that. He's a very respectful figure, an American icon, one of our most famous presidents. But I was hoping that Spielberg would have taken Lincoln down off of his pedestal and really shown us the man. And I think that we're still looking in on the man in this trailer. This is still, outside looking in. Focusing more on the people around Lincoln than the man himself. He's still a myth here. I would have liked to have seen the man. Maybe we will, but in this trailer, I still see myth. And that's disappointing to me. The whole thing plays a little bit like, have you ever been to Disney World at the American Adventure Pavilion at Epcot? They have a very good American history film. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of a very well-produced Hollywood version of that. It seems very like, yay, America. And of course, yay, America. I'm an American. I'm very patriotic. But I think that with the way entertainment's evolved over the years and the decades, I think that people are coming to expect a little bit more. I think also with today's internet culture, I think people want to look under the hood, and people want to see what makes somebody truly tick. And I would be disappointed if this is just kind of like a Lincoln fluff piece. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, it's a very early trailer. Of course, it looks beautiful. It's a Spielberg movie. It's gorgeous. I'm sure the performances will be wonderful. I'm very excited to just really quickly. You see the person who plays Hannah's boyfriend from Girls on there. He's a really great actor, so I'm glad to see him doing something. But what do you think? What is this the Lincoln you were expecting? Do you think I'm being too hard on it? Can you judge a movie about Lincoln when nobody knows what Lincoln was truly like? Write your thoughts down below. And as always, thank you so much for coming to Beyond the Trailer, not just to see the latest reviews, but to get these quick snapshot reviews. And I will say the Oscar season with this and the Master and everything is at least going to be one hell of a ride.